lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Well, you did that too early. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe. We are doing the 2020 show. I am so excited because yesterday we were down. And today we are actually up. And I wanted to start early, Dawn, and here we are late. You see? Early is early and late is late, and we always start late.
This is actually the perfect timing.
It is
because
not.
I was told, yes, by one of our millennials. I was told. Are we on?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was told by one of our millennials that we don't ever start at the 12 o'clock hour or the 12:05 or anything that ends in a 0 or a 5 because Facebook flags it and kicks it out. So it's better to either to start
Somebody
at
told you
12:01.
this? Somebody told you this?
One of our producers, as a matter
They
of
said
fact.
that if you do something in 0, it's flagged?
0 or the 5.
Really?
No,
I
all
never
our
heard of
shows
that.
at
You know
NN
what?
start
I'm
on the
hearing
2.
footsteps.
That's got to be Gen G.
I'm hearing the Gen G-ness.
All of our shows at
Gen G.
NN start at the 2 minute.
Gen G, how are you?
So here we start whenever we start. But at least today we're starting. So welcome to our
Sit right
Millennial
here.
Hour at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. It is 2020 Tuesday, which is perfect because we've got Gen G in the house.
A4, Mark.
Our
She's on
history
A4.
teacher extraordinaire, our Moby Pop, everything. Our next host on our Thursday night show of the Gen G Show. And she's spectacular. Freddie, what happened? You took yourself out of the camera shot? You could sit next to her.
No, I'm comfortable. I will in a little bit. I'm just getting the vibe because this is the 2020 show.
I know, I saw. I'm so excited.
The 2020 Vision Show. And the best part is...
And let me tell you something.
Yes.
Can I tell you something?
Tell me.
Gen G was my high school teacher.
In your dreams.
I know.
I know.
But she was teaching in my high school.
Yeah, Gen G is a little younger than you, though.
No, I know that, but she was there.
Jen,
She was
where
at
did you go to high
DeWitt Clinton
school?
High School.
I went to a high school called Pope John in Sparta, New Jersey.
So not even at DeWitt Clinton.
No,
No,
she
no.
taught at DeWitt
I
Clinton.
know that, but she was so not your high school history teacher.
No, I'm not saying she wasn't. She
Can
was
you
teaching
imagine?
at my high school when I was there as a student a few years before her.
Can you guys imagine having Gen G as your history teacher? I mean, seriously.
No, we can have some of my students call in.
We should.
I
We
would
We
should,
have-
definitely
actually.
can. We can absolutely do that.
I
yeah,
would
they
have
would.
not gotten any work at all.
Yeah, no. Or
And
though you might
DeWitt
have a whole
Clinton,
new
you know what DeWitt
appreciation.
Clinton was? We were a truant school.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
we
sure
were
was.
And all these animals that were in there, they would have loved this woman. They would have carried her books. They would have carried her car upstairs so she didn't have to walk to the parking
No,
lot.
I have some great stories. So for Christmas one time, some kid brought me in a stereo, a car stereo, with all the wires still attached to it.
Nice.
I'm like, he's like, Miss G, I got you something for Christmas. And he brings me in this stereo with all the wires. I'm like, number one, is that mine? Number two, like, I can't take this. And whoever brought me the leather coat, I can't keep that either.
There was a finger in the pocket.
There, yeah.
I'm sure it was lined with something, trust me.
I tell you, DeWitt Clinton, they opened up the time capsule when you were there? Because when I left,
Yeah.
they did open
Yeah,
it.
Mr. Gary did.
Mr. Gary, bald-headed Gary, who called me, I would be in Mount to Nothing.
But imagine, but
I
think
put
he was
sneakers
there. Hey,
in there.
Dan, how you doing?
You did?
I put sneakers in that time capsule.
You put sneakers in it.
Yes, it was a time capsule, and we were allowed because I was supposed to be one of the governors. And the
He
governors
was one
were
of
the
the
head of the schools.
Dobermans.
Doberman, yeah. I used to catch people in the hallways, truants. So we were allowed to put something,
But
put in a
think
pair
that
of
bald-headed
Converse.
Gary was there when you were there
Yes.
as a student, and
No,
was
no,
there when
bald-headed
Dan
Gary was
teacher.
the head of a department when I was
But that
there.
he was still there when you were a teacher, so that man had been there a long
Oh,
time.
he was there forever, I think.
I think he's still there.
He's in the time capsule.
He's
that's
like
what I think.
he's a fossil.
He's in the time capsule with your sneakers.
Anyway, so if you were a student of our famous young lady here, and you want to call in, what's the number?
888-994-4995. Give us a call because we are now kicking off our Tuesdays, our 2020 Vision Tuesdays with our
love it.
millennials. And we had this whole conversation that you're really not Gen X's, you're Gen Z's.
Well, I just found
Okay,
that
now.
out actually. I'm not sure if that's
That's
correct.
my Gen G, and you are the Gen Z.
We
So
were-
clearly, Freddie, we got a whole issue here.
We were kind of confused as to like what we all are.
I'm gonna look it up.
Well, I actually, if you can remember 9/11, apparently, this is what I looked it up one time. If you can remember 9/11, then you're a Gen X. If not, if you were born like 1999-ish, you're a Gen Z.
Okay.
Somewhere in that.
Okay,
So I'm a
Sorry.
Gen
I'm-
Z.
Yeah, but what
'Cause
about
I
in the
don't
middle
remember-
of that?
Well, yeah,
I was
what
like
if you're in the
3
cusp?
when 9/11?
Do you remember 9/11?
Gen
I don't
X and a
remember it,
half.
but I was
I
like, I was
remember,
here.
but like I barely remember.
Yeah, like
I don't.
I don't remember. It.
Like
Isn't
I
that
don't
incredible?
remember.
How can you
but I
not remember 9/11?
Isn't that remarkable?
I was
if you
3.
think about
Yeah,
that?
we were
3 or
3.
4. Yeah.
Oh, you were 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So,
am I
Wow.
a millennial or Gen Z? You know.
You're a Gen Z millennial transfer.
that's right.
Yeah, we're
You're a
we're
hybrid.
the weird middle in between.
I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. Is there a time and age when you become one and then you become the other? Do you
Yeah,
like happen
there's-
overnight?
There's like a
Well,
cutoff.
think about it. Do you remember? Well, you remember when Kennedy was shot. I don't.
Excuse you. He died in '64, honey. I was 2.
Okay, same thing. Do you remember when Kennedy was shot?
No, I do not. I
Well,
wasn't
that's
there.
what she's saying. She doesn't remember 9/11, but you're
Oh.
still a baby boomer.
It says Gen Z is the newest generation to be named and were born between 1995 and 2015.
That's a range.
That's a huge range. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's-
So I guess we're all Generation Zs. So who's considered a millennial?
Millennial is 1980 to 1994.
So Freddie, my
So-
son, would be a millennial.
my
and
he's a
Gio would
sister-
be a Z.
Yeah, Freddie's definitely a
millennial.
millennial based on
Yeah.
his age.
And he's
yeah.
about to show up here in a minute.
Of course he
Make
is.
fun of him.
My kids are millennials and save the date because Friday we're taking the show on the road. We're
We're
having
millennials?
our 3-year anniversary party. We'll have the kids with us.
Oh, we have an announcement.
Okay.
We have 2 announcements.
Okay.
When you go down to the show on Friday, you get a free beer with every meal.
Yes. Every meal that you
Ooh,
purchase, Crazy
enticing.
Uncle Mike's is giving you a free beer. I know.
The
they've
first
got great
one.
beers.
No,
Well,
don't
now,
get confused.
yeah.
You don't get all the
It's
beer
about
you want. You get 1 beer.
One beer when you purchase your lunch at Crazy Uncle Mike's.
That's right.
What do you get if you're not 21 yet? You get free
You get
juice.
Root beer.
You get a soda.
Free root beer.
We got
Free
some
apple
soda.
juice.
We give you a soda.
Free sparkling apple juice. There you
Don't
Friday-
go too far. Fill up a chair. You're part of this. All right.
Our Friday show is live at Crazy Uncle Mike's to celebrate our 3-year anniversary, and nothing like kicking off our week yesterday with no internet and no access. But the show is going to be uploaded. Lisa is working on it. And
Yes.
that's going to be up and running on Roku. We've got a few shows going on Roku this week, which we need to upload because, yes, Mom, I know you're tired of watching us at Busybody. I got you. We got you covered.
Your
So
mother will be the spokesperson for us.
She will be there on Friday. She would love to.
For the
Yes,
3
I told
channels.
you she canceled her mahjong game so she can join us on Friday.
We're going to take pictures of your mom and we're going to make Grandma the new poster child to our channel.
Of the cafe.
Who the hell can ignore her? Purple
That'd be
hair,
Nobody.
purple lipstick.
Yeah, if
Oh,
you see
wow.
a lady with purple hair and purple everything, that would be my mom.
All right.
So, just so you know,
And the second news, before we get started,
is I
the
don't know what your
axe,
announcement is.
axe, the
So the
axe
axe throwing mobile unit trailer
is going
will
to be there.
there on Friday at Crazy Uncle
Yeah.
Mike's. So you can go into the trailer, you can throw axes. It will be safe because it is sponsored by Game of Axes.
Because
so.
it is.
We're not throwing axes at Crazy Uncle Mike's. It'll be outside in the trailer. So come on out, have some fun, throw some axes, join our party, join our celebration. 3 years of a lot of growth and a lot of interns and a lot of producers. We have a new one if we haven't scared them off. I don't think we could scare them off because I know your mom. So
Who,
I think
Mr.
Mark's
Mark?
probably good to stay for a little while.
Now, let me tell you something. You brought me a guy who does film work for a school football team,
Yes.
right, Mark? I can speak his language
That would be
because he does video of football. I coach football for a lot of years down here and in New York and everything else, so I understand a little bit about how his mind works. He understands urgency in getting the job done because if you don't prep a team, they're not going to have a chance in hell for the next game, correct? So
There you
I
have it.
understand how he thinks. A lot of fun.
He's like, yeah, if we don't get it up by that night, we're yelled at. We're there until it goes out. It sounds like you, right? There is no, maybe I'll do it tomorrow.
No, it has to get done.
It has to
Yeah.
get done. Or
Yes.
we stay, or the coaches
I
yell.
like it.
It has to get done.
And also, Lollipop, Moby Pop is
Moby
coming
Pop.
out. And I have a surprise for you. We're going to throw we're going to throw 3 coming out parties.
Okay.
And all 3
Done.
we're going to do 3 different restaurants at the Wyndham. And the first one is scheduled for next Thursday.
Correct.
And I want to make it Lollipop Central.
Cafe Med.
'Cause-
Cafe Med with Moby Pop.
Yes, because I told them, I accidentally said lollipops. And they said, oh, we love lollipops. So they
That's
started
all right.
carrying on.
I don't.
So now we're going to put Moby Pop on the lollipop. I think
Sounds
it'll
We're
be
doing
like-
that. We're having Moby Pop lollipops made.
I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun
It's
for Brian.
happening.
How we brand anything in this realm that we do is just beyond anything. But give us a call, join our conversation. We've got our millennial Gen Zers at 888-994-4995. They're going to take over the mics and open up the conversation. So join our fun. We've got Gen G, Gen Z, and as long as we're not doing a drinking game with you, Jen, then we're pretty good. I got that covered until the 1 o'clock hour. The tequila's over on the counter. So Ryan, you had some ideas you wanted to talk about.
Now, this
Yeah,
is a 2020 deal, right?
I actually wanted to talk about transgender issues within the LGBT community.
Okay, tell us.
Now, this actually kind of opens up with kind of something that I actually had to deal with yesterday.
Okay.
Now, I myself am trans. I've been on hormones for 2 years now, and well, almost 2.5. And the place where I get my hormones from, well, yesterday I had to literally go down there and make them like write the prescription for my testosterone because I've been out for about 3-4 months now. So I was off of hormones for about 4 months because my doctor didn't want to send in something to my insurance for them to cover
Well,
the
does
new
your insurance
testosterone I have to be on.
cover that? Because that's an interesting topic we've never even talked about. Does insurance cover hormones for transgender?
In Florida, it is one of the worst states to be trans insurance wise because they cover next to nothing. Like for my top surgery, it costs $10,000 without insurance, and with my insurance added on, it's $15,000.
So why is that? Why is it more with the insurance then?
Insurance is more.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You said with the insurance is more money, so why
Yeah.
would you want to report
Yeah.
it?
That's just how the insurance is.
Yeah, but he's doing you a favor then by not reporting
Yeah.
it, right? Now, do
Yeah.
you pay the difference? You have to pay 5 large. Is that what it comes down to, as opposed to paying 5 large if you report it to the insurance company?
No, through the doctor that I'm gonna be going through, I'm paying I think $8,000 because there was some scholarship or something, and the insurance, because I found the doctor through my insurance, so I was like, okay, cool, they must be covered. It must be better to use insurance through this doctor, and
It's not.
it's
So
not.
this is the doctor that you referred me to, or another doctor?
Different doctor.
And when did you have the surgery? 2 years ago?
No, I'm actually going to be getting the surgery probably sometime next year.
Well, what's it like for you growing up and coming to this realization?
It was a very long process. I didn't actually completely come out until I was a senior in high school, about to graduate.
How old are you now?
21. So I've only been out for maybe 2-3 years.
Has your life changed when you came out?
Oh yeah, drastically.
And you knew
pe-
this going in?
Yeah,
Okay.
because a lot of the reason why I took so long to come out was because I was just scared of what people would say or do. Because when you come out as trans, not many people are actually quite accepting of it.
I don't think people really understand it.
Yeah, that's what I've found the big issue is, because a lot of people just see a bunch of stuff online, like kind of mocking it and making it into like a trendy thing when it's not.
What do you think the biggest misconception is?
The biggest misconception, ooh, I get that question a lot. The biggest misconception, I believe,
Well, make it easy
is
for yourself.
that-
What
Or
do you
just
want to
a
clear up?
misconception. Yeah. What
Would you like to clear
why
up
did
if you had a
want
message
talk
to
about
give? Yeah.
this?
a lot of people just get things misconstrued with like within the transgender community, because within the transgender umbrella there's so many different branches it can go by, because there's non-binary, there's gender fluid, there's people who are gender queer, which I don't even really understand yet.
Jen,
Like,
did you
it-
realize there were so many?
There's so many different types of transgender.
I actually did, because when I was teaching in New Jersey, I had a transgender student, and the transgender student started the, changing in he transed from a female to a male, which is he felt that was really his true self, and he started when he was in 7th grade. So I did a lot of research. Yeah,
Wow.
I did a lot of research, and by the time he got to freshman year in high school, some kids still slipped and said she, but they quickly corrected themselves. And I taught in a really nice, very accepting school. So I think that was incredibly helpful, but I did do a lot of research. And my sister-in-law is gay. So we did a lot of not research, but we talked to her a lot because we were very accepting. And when she came out, we were all like, great, live your best life, do what you need to do.
Your
And-
sister-in-law is gay.
yeah, my husband's sister
Okay. got it.
is gay.
Now, is it more difficult for a male to come out or for a female to come out?
As transgender?
No, that's the next question.
That's you.
There are two different questions here.
Ooh.
What do you guys think?
I think it's hard no matter what,
Yeah.
depending on your situation. Because if you're surrounded by people who are supportive, it's obviously going to be a little bit easier. But if you're surrounded by people who aren't as supportive, it's going to be an uphill battle.
Hector, what do you think?
Well, again, small anecdote. I can't really say much the subject, but while we were growing up where I used to live, I was at the moment kind of close to my two cousins. We're brother and sister. Now the brother, pretty much everyone in the family kind of knew that he was obviously not straight. Obviously wasn't straight. It was only when I started going to college that he finally just come out as gay. But by that time, pretty much everyone had a feeling that he was, and we can sort of tell. The real surprise for at least the family was when the sister also came out as gay. And
So
I
they
don't.
got hit twice.
Well,
Cousin and sister.
both of them. But I think that it was easy, at least for the family. It was easier for at least accept that the brother because again he kind of fit in this whole stereotype of what most people think a gay man would be. Sister, we kind of just saw her as being just sporty. We never really thought of her as a lesbian.
So that's my question, because with women it's one thing and with males it's another. I think that the lack of understanding is stronger towards the men than it is towards the women. I mean, I could be wrong.
But I think it comes down to stereotypes because, okay, so for instance, when you were explaining, like, you had, like, personal connections with people, the student and your sister-in-law, and I feel like for a lot of people that don't know someone trans, gay, lesbian, whatever you may be, and you're just seeing what's on TV or in the movies, it's
Or social media.
It's a stereotype. So, for instance, in Hector's family, everyone wasn't really surprised with the boy when he came out because they'd kind of seen what fit that stereotype. But with the girl,
I'd like to add that his career-wise, what he does is actually kind of impressive. He's a carpenter. He makes furniture. He has a He's a bigger, more fuller beard than I ever will.
See, but I don't understand why it's even an issue. I don't understand
I don't get it
why
either.
I'm sorry.
anyone's-
I'm sorry interrupting.
No, it was fine. All I was gonna say was that with the girl, she didn't fit that stereotype of a lesbian because maybe what your family had seen in the movies or whatever was different than the way she acted, so maybe came as more of, as a surprise. I think a lot of people assume that, oh, when you're gay, you're into music and you
flamboyant,
skip. Yeah,
or-
you're
yeah.
flamboyant. And when you're a girl, you know, and people have their things. So when you don't fit that, people are like confused or like don't see it coming. And I think people need to just realize that the way you see yourself, you can still be a lesbian and be sporty. You can be a lesbian and love to
Be
wear
really
dresses.
feminine,
You
yeah.
can be whatever you want to be and still claim that identity.
But is it confuse or refuse to accept the truth?
It's kind of like what Ryan said. It's perception.
Well, it depends on who you're surrounded by too. I
Yeah,
think.
it relies a lot on like what your support group is, like who you're surrounded by on a daily basis, like who you interact with.
I don't know. I had in my family we had almost the exact same thing happen, but it was, I guess, kind of the opposite because I came out as a lesbian. I'm the older of the two, of me and my younger brother, and I came out years ago, and my parents were super accepting. I was always in an awesome. I don't know why it took me so long because they were super cool about it. And then my brother also kind of came out as gay, and everybody expected it from me because, like, you know, I was always like hanging out with bros, like, you know, doing all that stuff. Like, technically, I guess I fit the stereotype. But with my brother, they were all kind of like, okay, this is like nobody. It came out from left field, you know.
How are your parents with everything?
So the cool thing about it is they're very cool with both things, that they just really, really want grandchildren. So they were very disappointed when.
But that
But they
doesn't
can
mean-
still have grandchildren.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
of
we've
course.
tried to
yeah.
we tried to explain that
Yeah.
because, you know, it's the 21st century. There's a lot of new ways.
Well, I think about it. I think that in your position, you're going to be more sensitive because there's more going around you to teach a child than parents that are straight and are insensitive and don't know how to teach anything. So
Yeah.
I could give a valid argument in your defense. Now, I had another question that I wanted to bring up with you. I'm a Latino, and among the Latino community, this is a no-no.
Yeah.
There's
Oh, really?
excommunication.
Oh, yeah.
There is abandonment. There is
honestly,
you go live in the street.
we haven't told. Honestly, with my cousins, we still haven't told grandma.
That's right. Because in the old school, now I used to say one time they asked me, and Freddie's in the room behind me. They asked if your son was gay, would you love him? I love him. I don't care what he is. It doesn't make a difference. It's his choice. It's his body. It's his life, and I support whatever he decides. Do I have to stand up for him? I would. It makes no difference.
I
It makes
said
no
that.
difference.
I said that too when my sons were little, and you start talking to people, and they're like, "Well, how?" Because I have two sons. How would you feel if your son came out as gay? I'd be like, I would march in that parade. I would do whatever I need to do. And I'm with Dawn. I don't understand why people. I never understand these things. Why people care and why they're all up in their business, and just people are people, and accept them and love them, and
Oh my goodness, look
don't
what
be
we
a
do
jerk.
every day. Look at the diversity of all of you guys. And every crew that comes through here, the diversity. The only thing that really brings you together is when you put on our Brooklyn Cafe shirts, right? Other than that, everyone is, what do you always say? You can put a penguin in anything, but you're still a penguin?
You can put him in a suit, but he's still a penguin.
You are who you are. And
Penguins already have suits.
that too, Freddie.
Well, the bottom
But the
line.
judge, I don't understand all the judgment, but I'm glad you're having the conversation. And Ryan, for you, who's going through the process, I commend you for actually talking about coming out. Here you are coming out on this platform, right? So now, everyone who's watching, all 4 of us, 10 of us, 100,000 of us, whoever happens to be watching.
Yeah, sadly I'm not on the Facebook to make snide little comments, so you never know.
But you've given everyone a vision to say, you know what, this is a safe space, and that is what we try to create. And you and I have talked about this, Jen. That
Yeah.
we want all of you to always feel that this is a safe space. And now you've given your platform and given others a voice, Ryan. So thank you for sharing. Do you
Go
have
ahead.
something
Go
to
ahead.
say?
Oh, I was wondering, do you think that we should teach LGBT history in school?
Definitely. It is very important because not only is it still relevant today with all of the hate that is going on against the LGBT community, but it also shows like where we're coming from and how history is starting to repeat itself again.
And I think, as a former history teacher, not only should we teach that, but I also think in every curriculum throughout the school should be acceptance. That should be a thread that goes through every curriculum. acceptance of diversity, acceptance of people who are different, acceptance and compassion and understanding. And that's what's missing, I think. In addition to teaching LGBTQ or whatever, I think that this idea of acceptance, no matter what, on every level, should be woven through the curriculum.
That's why I was going to ask you, what do you mean about teaching the history of how it evolved and the emergence, or we're talking compassion and kindness? Because clearly our country is lacking in some of that. And politics aside, I think that's part of what this world is lacking.
I think all of it needs to be taught. Like, teach how to be more sensitive to the topic. Teach how to be more of an ally to people who...
How would you teach it?
I feel like it comes back to like just like elementary, middle school teachings. It just I always like when you think about like babies, like when you see babies together, like babies don't care like your race or anything, like you know what I mean? Like they love each other, and it's what we learn as we're growing up, and that's how we start performing our perceptions or forming our perceptions and stuff like that. I really think that it really needs to be kind of pounded into like the little while you're young, that like no matter your race, no matter your identity, whatever, like be accepting, so that way as you're getting older, it's already kind of in there. You're not going to see it as like, because I mean we're in 2019, so the fact that people still act the way they do is kind of weird to me. Like I don't know, because we should be progressing so much more than we are. And I also feel like this needs to be an ongoing conversation. So like right now it's Pride, right? And it's great that it's Pride. It's a great month and all of that, but it's like it shouldn't just be a month. Like people are gay year round, you know what I'm talking about? So like I feel like people make it a big deal now, and it's talked about a lot now, and then what about like July? So I feel like it's something that needs to be just talked about constantly, and like I don't know, especially when you're young.
Well, let me throw a couple of curveballs out here. Mark, you're involved in a football situation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, make sure the mic is on because it might be off. In sports, there is a lineman that came out in the NFL. One lineman came out and they ostracized him. Is that a word? Ostracized?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a word.
Good job.
It's a word, and using it correctly.
Thank you. Incorrectly?
Correctly.
Correctly
Yeah,
used.
I got both
it is
points
a
right.
word, and you used it correctly. So
Yeah.
you're 2 for 2 right there.
So he was ostracized and he was sent out about his business to other NFL teams. How many kids do you see playing football that are good athletes and they won't say their preference of what they want to do because they're afraid?
If I had to guess, I'd say a majority of them, just because of the stereotypes of what goes into being a football player. And potentially, if a football player comes out and says that they're gay, they might feel a lack of acceptance within the team. And they might feel like coaches may treat them differently. They may not get the ball as much. They may not get as much playing time just because that's the culture of football.
And these are guys that you're supposed to be laying blood, sweat, and tears. And football is a very physical sport. And I'm going to tell you, after practice, those locker rooms stink.
No,
and after
Freddie
a game,
plays
it stinks.
football.
He did. Now, I don't remember. I mean, I don't want to throw nobody under the bus, but I don't think we had anybody. Or we had one guy who was, I think, coming out, no? Cornbread. No?
Is that really his name?
No, I'm just changing his name to protect the innocent.
That's what I'm thinking.
But it's difficult because then I can go also for football among the black community. The black community is looked upon way down if you decide you're going to be gay or lesbian. It changes the whole perception of the person.
Well, if not to cut you off, but if you look at the hip hop culture, the hip hop culture itself really ostracizes people who are not like everybody else, or people who are gay or trans. And not that everybody loves this singer, but it's interesting that we're talking about it because Taylor Swift's song, Calm Down, came out, and her video came out. And it was all these different people who are in the movement of the LGBTQ community, and they're talking about just calm down. Like, why are you throwing shade at people? I don't get it.
That's the whole thing. Lisa, you've been very quiet.
I know, I'm just taking it all in.
What do you think?
You're
at a big school.
Yeah. I think with future generations and with all of the pride and everything, it's going to become more accepting because people growing up are going to have 2 moms, 2 dads, or transgender couples and everything. And then people are going to be talking about that more, like, as kids. And I think it's going to slowly come naturally, I hope. just with like interracial like couples and how that it used to be, you know, all white, all black, and now like look at us. So I think it's just because it's still like very new that people are still like, what is going on?
But it's not new. It's just coming more out into the public.
Or more,
Well, okay.
Right? I mean,
But
you-
Lisa,
you've
then
known
let me
this
ask
for
you a
long
question.
time.
You brought up a good subject matter. A black couple, a black and white couple, right? That's looked at now more acceptable than what he's talking about.
Right,
if you
because
think about it.
that came up, you know, years ago already.
But
I
you know what I'm
understand,
saying?
but
So
but
it
when
took
it first
that
came
long.
out, people raised an eyebrow. But this has become violent. There's a
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it
my
has.
one of my friends have actually ended up in the hospital from being attacked
Yeah.
Wow.
for
I-
being trans.
And I saw it on the news up in New York. I mean, there was violent attacks. Violent attacks. There might have been some skirmishes on the
Right.
black and white issue, but this I think it's different because the kids are younger and they think that it's changing family history. I
Right.
mean, what goes through the minds of family, old school family, is ridiculous sometimes. Grandma and grandpa, look at Hector. He hasn't told his grandmother about his two cousins, right?
Considering she probably is never going to see this, might never will.
But the question is,
if she
why?
does, which
Why is it that
Don't
we
say
have to
which
hide
one.
the truth?
She doesn't
I
know.
used to hide smoking cigarettes from
She
my mom.
doesn't know. how
I
that
never
works here.
smoked in front of my mother. Why? Because it was embedded in me that smoking in front of your parents was a no-no. Forget about what you're going through, guys. I'm talking about cigarettes. I used to hide until one day in Puerto Rico I didn't. She says, I knew you did that.
I think parents and grandparents know whether you say it verbally or don't. Like
Of
you said, your
course.
parents knew your sexual preference. They knew you were going to be gay,
I think everybody kind
right?
of
And it was just a
playing
matter
flag
of
football.
saying it or not saying it. But flag,
Me
that doesn't
too.
even define it. But at least we're opening the conversation.
The problem is with Pride Month and everything, and it's an awesome thing, but there's a lot of people trying to make money off of it now.
oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Which is
oh
like
yeah,
becoming
a lot of companies.
huge problem,
I'll
and
be
there's a
honest.
fine line between supporting and just profiting.
Well, I call it it's not even profiting. It's being opportunistic.
Yeah, but it's no.
It's just like all these companies come out with Pride apparel, and then like, yeah, it's
to
cool that you
America.
have Pride
Yeah,
apparel,
welcome to
but
America.
are you actually taking these funds and donating them somewhere where it's useful?
Which
Like,
goes
I
to
have no problem supporting companies who do take their profit and support it with organizations or charities in the LGBT community, but it's those companies that just don't do anything about it and they just take your money.
Right. So
for the-
does that company like walk the walk? So there's so much that you can say that they have apparel and things like that, but is that in alignment with their actual company like mission statement and standards and things like that? So I think that's an excellent point.
Actually, let me ask you, because
Yes.
here
I
you
was
are
gonna go
launching
there
this,
too, yeah.
a whole new platform, a new business, everything, a huge staff. What does this look like in the corporate world for MobiPop as far as the transgender, the gay community? Does it impact you? Do you embrace it?
Of course, I think because the culture at MobiPop is very accepting, just by the mere fact that we're a women-owned tech company, which is its own separate set of issues, right? So we're solely women-owned. But my own personality is, I don't even look at that stuff. Like, when you talk about are you biased, here's my bias. Are you a jerk? Are you not a jerk? That's my
Are you a
bias.
Short
loser or
menu.
not?
So if you're a jerk, yes, I'm definitely biased against you. If you're not a jerk, come on in.
Well, then I got a question. If you guys were to spearhead an organization, right, on both sides of the deal here, and you decide, okay, we're going to do T-shirts, for example, bad example, but T-shirts, let's say you sell 1 million T-shirts. You can do whatever you want with that money. You can give it to organizations, you can give it to whatever. I think that the bottom line here is the opportunity is in front of you. So if you jump on it and you want to make your statement, you got to be heard, no? You got to make some noise. See, what I love about Jen is she doesn't take any prisoners. If it doesn't work, she finds a way to make it work. True?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
So now you have this in front of you. Use the platform. Create. And bring, and there will be lots of people who will support your cause. So there's no fear there. And those that don't, they don't. That's okay.
And
Yeah,
right, lots of the right people.
That's right.
That's what you want. You want to get in front of the right people, because there'll be so many people who are like, will tell you yes. However, 3 months down the line, and to your point was excellent, it comes September, it's not Pride Month anymore, so where are these people? So do these people stick with you or do they not?
It's like Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's what, one day a year?
Oh, we
I
had
was
this
just gonna say
conversation.
that.
Right?
The
I think
guys,
yeah.
all fathers say, "Oh, my daughter called me." Well, she didn't call you before that. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to make it sound like that. I was just a little taken aback by everybody. I mean, I love my kids. You know, I'm gonna hang out with Freddie. Father's Day with my son here is everything.
But it
Anytime I
goes
get to
back
see-
to what Jen says. It's about being kind to each other and being a
That's the bottom
humanitarian
line.
to each other and accepting. And isn't that what this
Yeah,
country
but-
was supposed to be founded on, right?
Yes.
Wasn't that the premise
But
of the
is it?
United States?
But
Well,
is it?
Is it? Good
Is it?
question.
No, you
Which
know,
may-
sometimes when you take off that Band-Aid, that wound is still there. There's a lot of stuff psychologically
Right,
going
but isn't
on.
wasn't that the reason, I'm no history teacher, that we were founded, right? Was to be kind and to be accepting, and Jen's like, no.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about
That
that.
kind of had to be.
When we came over to America to first find it.
Pretty sure we took over people's
No, they came because
Yeah,
it
we
just didn't-
conquered people who lived here.
Well, hold on.
I'm not doing
What
the
we
whole
do with-
immigration thing.
Yeah,
but
what about what we do
I'm
with
not
the
doing
Indians
it-
and everything else? We didn't come here to be kind.
They're not called Indians
We didn't come here to be
anymore.
kind.
We don't call them Indians.
Oh, jeez.
Native Americans.
Well, in the day they were called Indians, you
Yes.
may have changed that. This is what I'm talking about, perception. An Indian is not a bad word.
It's a whole lot of perception
It's
of a lot
inaccurate,
of things.
but it's not a bad word.
But it's not a bad, it's inaccurate, okay. A
And
person,
you know why we call Native American Indians?
Why?
Because when Christopher Columbus came here, he legitimately thought that he landed in India.
Idiot.
He really did think
That's
that.
why we
Because
call
the
them
world was
British.
flat.
This is why he
Okay, but then-
died thinking we.
But he didn't call them Native Americans, he called them Indians.
because he thought he was in India.
Okay, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that
I know
word.
the
that's
comedian.
not.
I
That's
know
just
this
not who
comedian
they
had
are,
a joke
though.
for this, but I keep forgetting. For life, me, I can't remember his name. Russell Peters. That's right. That's the guy. He had a bit about that. I'm not going to present the bit. He does it way better than I would.
Let's go to commercial break, Dylan. When we come back, more with our 2020 vision. Stay tuned and give us a call, 888-994-4995, and we'll be right back.
Turn them all.
I honestly didn't know saying
Keep
someone's
going.
Indian was not.
It's
Like if
not-
you're actually
It's not accurate, right? That's the whole problem.
Hemp Boca. Products of purest natural ingredients and providing a safe alternative method for relief from many symptoms, creating a healthier lifestyle without the use of opioids. Use Hemp Boca products for improved mental health and overall well-being. It's safe, legal, and non-psychoactive. Our pure and high-quality CBD is from clean industrial hemp, then extracted slowly over days to produce the strongest and most effective products on the market. Made in the U.S. with no synthetic ingredients. Committed to bringing our customers the highest grade CBD oil on the market. Our industrial hemp, it's organic with no solvents and pesticides, gluten-free, vegan, full spectrum, and third-party double lab tested. Our top priority is your health and wellness, and we are confident you will love our products and the amazing relief so you can enjoy the things you love to do. Try our products and start living a healthier lifestyle. Hemp Boca. Good health and good sense are two of life's greatest blessings.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power. A platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions. A voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Pure Wave. Supercharge your cells. Energize your body with Pure Wave therapy. Are you ready for improved cell regeneration, less discomfort, a longer, healthier, vital life? Contact purewavenow.com for your consultation. Pure Wave technology strengthens the immune system and metabolism while activating hormone production. purewavenow.com 561-965-7777.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
And we're back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV, live on a 2020 Tuesday. Give us a call at 888-994-4995. And if you don't know what our 2020 story is, we are here with our producers and our interns, and they are millennials, Gen Zers, and giving
Gen
them a
Zers?
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Is that a word?
Gen
Apparently.
It is now. You
Apparently.
Z. Gen Zers.
1995.
I don't know, but kind of sounds better than millennial.
Born in '94.
So you're a millennial?
She's a millennial.
I don't know, millennial sounds too clinical.
So give us a call, join our
It
conversation,
sounds so
or
clinical.
write
It
in.
sounds like you have a medical condition.
A Gen Zer?
What?
No, being referred to as a millennial.
What?
Why?
It kind of sounds like you have a medical condition.
Millennial?
It's such a clinical sounding word.
It's a
You're being
clinical
offensive.
sounding word.
You're being offensive.
Not being offended. Not being offended. I'm just trying to make a point.
You're not being offended. You're being offensive. Everything in the world makes people crazy. I
Yeah,
mean, you
I
can
know.
say the wrong thing and the right thing, and it makes
Everyone's
no
all
difference.
very highly sensitive these days.
It's like the whole world.
Right?
It's a little too
I know,
sensitive.
people can be sensitive to be offended by other people's sensitivities.
What do they call it? Politically correct?
Political, that's what your son said.
But that isn't fair. I'm sorry. You know, I understand that it's not 1960, 70, 80, or 90. I get all that. But man, to keep up with the changes to me is very difficult.
Menashe said it right. The times are changing, Freddie.
I know she told me I don't know what you're telling you, Freddie. Times are changing. I find that very offensive.
Just
She's
wait.
talking to me that way because I'm Latino, male, and lost.
Just wait till the Martians show up. Then we have a whole new set of issues.
The Moluccans, as my father calls them.
The what?
The Moluccans.
I don't even want to know what
Don't
that is.
even want to go there.
Yeah, I don't.
But yes, everyone is very highly sensitive.
Okay, I got a question.
Okay.
Now that you brought this up, Jen, teaching history today is different then because history has changed.
Well, it changes
It changes every
all the
day.
time.
Okay,
right?
let me
So-
ask you.
So here's the thing. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The statues, right? Offensive
Which
in the
ones?
South.
The statues.
All the statues that
Which
were
one?
removed.
Which ones?
Grant statue, all of them. Ones in New Orleans, all these statues were removed.
From the Civil War.
Okay.
Civil
I
War
don't know where.
generals.
Let's start there.
Funny thing is, most of those statues were erected in the 60s.
Okay, but
mostly-
those statues were removed. They were still part of history, so it's offensive history. Is that what we're talking about?
Well,
I
contextual.
mean, history, good or bad, is still told. Like, you know what I mean?
No, they want to do away with it in the books.
No, like slavery and all of that was obviously bad. The Holocaust was obviously bad, stuff like that. But it's still taught in the schools. Like, this is what happened. This is how we overcame it. Whatever. Like,
Do we talk about biblical wars? Wars fought all over the Bible?
No, because the Bible's not really considered a historical text.
Right?
what
It's
about the-
separation of church and state.
Yeah.
But what about all those killings that happened because of it?
So we definitely talk about the ramifications of religion that is historically proven, but some things that are not considered historical text we don't teach. But we do teach ramifications of aligning yourself with a specific religion or movement or political party, absolutely.
Papal states, right? The there was a country in there one time that ran everything over in Italy.
It's still there.
And it's still there, right, with the Pope and what have you. A lot of power in the day.
Right.
Cigarettes in World War I and II were controlled by the Pope.
Well, additionally, in World War II, the Pope was a Nazi sympathizer.
And there you have it.
So
now,
we teach that.
now-
We teach all of that.
so if we go to church and say that to a group of people in the church, they probably run you out of there.
Right, but just because people don't like it doesn't change the facts.
Exactly.
So-
and then why is
There
it
you
okay, so this is my question. Why is it then when you have these issues brought up, it doesn't change the fact? Right? I mean, we're not allowed to punish kids being what they want to be, but we are when it comes to this other stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, we should embrace them and what they want to be.
We should, but we don't as a society.
As a
So
society, we
maybe
don't.
society needs fine tuning.
100% society needs
society-
fine-tuning.
Society is always being fine-tuned. It's just what it turns into that it comes after.
Now, do you guys think that recently, do you think like over time, like I've only been around for like 20 years, but I guess like, do you think we've become more accepting, and do you think that's because of like our new, like now we can see every single thing, like phones, Twitter, you like all the photos and everything? Do you think we've become over time?
I think we've become oversensitive. And
Oversensitive.
we've become desensitized to other things. I think we've become oversensitive to people being different, although everyone is always different. Right now it's just how different are you, and what you can say, what we can say about gender and race, that's oversensitive. But I think your generation has become desensitized to some of these games, and I know Jen loves World of Warcraft, but you understand that it's a game. There are
Yeah.
people that kill and game over, and you have a new game. But then there are those that take it to the next step and they kill.
Well, I think the
become
question
desensitized.
should be, has
Don,
it desensitized?
I'm a little confused as
It's
to the
like-
statement.
Yes, I am too. I knew it was coming. See, the problem is when you...
Desensitized, I think there's both issues.
You may be right, but the problem is you got to pose it as a question, because the moment you start saying you guys are playing these games and you're going to become future murderers.
Which
No, I think there are
Which
some
games?
games that have you become desensitized in what violence truly is, and there's a fine line.
Well, let's put it out there. Do you agree with that?
What games are you talking about?
The only thing I'm thinking of right now is that our generation does a better job of adapting to what's going on. Meanwhile, you could have a grandma and grandpa out there who are still going with the same morals and values that their parents taught them.
You're right.
And that's what they think is acceptable today still. So if they're still trying to teach that upon their kids and grandkids, that's a little outdated and not up to what's actually happening.
That's a great point, Mark. Except, let me give you one instance. During the Vietnam War, people who are hippies were coming out, and hippies were against the war because they didn't understand the war. And in their day, they said the same thing you said, because I remember my uncle saying the same thing. There were more adaptabilities going on. I think that the trend happens because you're in the moment and you have to change. But if you go to the 60s, there were trends there that changed as well. Equal rights were a big part of it. There was a lot of stuff going on, killing presidents because of Cuba and everything else going on. They're making movies about it now. But
look at women's lib, right? The first women's lib and women's right to vote, and now the women empowerment.
another
It's
change.
same but different, right? Or maybe
Adaptability.
just-
But we're also going through another political issue with women and their rights to their own bodies. So
Oh, yeah.
we see some of the things happen, and then we see some.
I don't even understand that.
And that's going backwards.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But
So,
I don't even understand that argument.
I don't either.
I don't understand how
Once
you
again,
can
I
another
don't think
thing
we
that
can
I
bring.
don't understand.
I don't really think this is the kind of argument we can bring up on this show, considering the.
The non-politics of our show.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to talk about the politics. I want to talk about the understanding of it.
I want to also,
the
in
understanding
addition,
kind of boils down to whether or not it's a legal or moral.
well,
or moral
moral
subject.
that aside, I think
Yeah.
I want to talk about the humanity of it all. Like, can't we just start a movement? It starts with one person, how you live your life on a daily basis. So think about how you live your life. Do you hold the door for others? I know that sounds silly, but that's basic courtesy. People don't.
Who does that? I mean, that's not bad.
When somebody holds the door,
Who's
do
telling
you-
the truth?
Do you say thank you? So it's how you live your life and who you are on a daily basis. I think that helps change the world. Yes, these big movements are fantastic, but who are you on a daily basis?
Who wants to have children?
I'm not sure. Like, you're not sure how.
If you're not sure,
In
it's a no.
vitro.
I think
If you're not sure, it's a no. Who wants to have children? Yes or no? Okay. That, to me, in this day and age, is a big question. I know a lot of kids that do not want to have children. And that, to me, says everything. Because they don't like what's going on right now.
Bad
and
for the
everything else.
environment.
Well, that's another reason. So, I mean, it costs money too. But the bottom line here is to stretch out your point. I think you have to be honest with yourself about yourself and what's going on. And I think judging people is our problem. I think
Clearly,
we've gotten
our
into the
generation,
world
Mark,
judging.
has screwed up a lot of things. There's no doubt. We're not
Oh,
saying.
absolutely, we're the
I
worst.
mean, there is no doubt that we have screwed some things
We're
up.
burning this planet up.
And and there we need to leave it to you guys. And
Yeah, we'll probably screw up too.
and you know what? You'll screw it up, and your kids will say the same thing. But we only hope that the planet's here for that to happen, right?
We just
only
got to
hope
stop
that
the screw up somewhere along the line because there won't
You
be anything
don't.
left.
You don't.
You
If anything,
don't.
if there's anything, if I reboot brain, if there's anything I learned from watching a countless hours of Star Trek is you're gonna screw up. Every
There's your
generation's
first
gonna screw up
mistake.
regardless.
Hector, there's your first mistake.
Watching Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Countless
Look.
hours.
What year was Star Trek created? 70s?
No,
Not just-
60s.
60s. 60s. Can't
So
before
you're
Star
back in my
Wars.
school in 60 ways of thinking on Star
My
Trek.
point. Look, the point I'm trying to say. What I was trying to say is that generations are going to make mistakes regardless. The point is, does a generation have to learn from them?
Always.
Well, should everyone learn from their mistakes, right? You go
You know,
forward.
not in case of generational, it's not whether or not the generation that made mistakes learn, is whether they realize they made it in the first place.
What do you think about taking accountability for your actions?
Some people are terrible at taking accountability for their own actions.
Deny.
What do you think? I mean, you're in school. If something goes wrong, you don't do well on a test. Is it, the teacher
Teacher
did the
did.
worst? Is it the
Teacher
teacher's
hates
fault, or
There's
is
too
it,
many factors, I guess.
There wasn't
It
enough light in the
depends.
room to take the test. You name it, I've used it.
right? It's
Never
taking
me.
accountability for things that we do wrong, and we all do things that are wrong, and learning from it.
Do you man up and say, I messed up? It was on me. Do you do that? Baseball players do it. Well, they should. They get paid millions and millions of dollars to catch a baseball, goes through their legs. What's he going to do? It was the sun. It was the people eating the hot dogs.
Well,
I was
what about
watching
the
that.
basketball player who ruptured his Achilles? I could have told you 2 weeks ago, if he goes back in, you're going to rupture your Achilles.
And you know why he went on that court?
Hey, my kid said to me, what are you, psychic? Psychic? No.
Do you know why he went on that court? Because
he-
of all the
yes.
bad press he
Is
was
that why
getting.
you think?
Calling him a quitter. Kevin Durant is no quitter. He had and it's funny because my son Freddie saw it. The first moment he says, that's a ruptured Achilles. I says, no, it's
What?
not.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it. He went on that court and hurt himself to prove a point. And all he's going to do, he will never be the same again for the rest of his life. He just ruined his everything.
So did he do it to take one for the team and
No.
to get them to the next level?
No.
Why did
He
he?
did it for his own image, just to,
That's right.
to show that he's that type of player.
That's right.
And I also think there was some
Nah.
pressure within the organization, like, hey, we need you here.
Yeah.
And
We need you to rupture Achilles on the mat, on the floor, so everybody can say, oh, he was a good
they
player.
were hiding his initial injury.
Yes.
They said it was a calf strain, and he was out a month or 2 months, and
It was Achilles.
It was-
And
it
you know
was-
what the funny thing is? They're going to offer him a max contract because now they're on the hook for it.
and he's not going to play. A
And he's not going to
So
play a
he's going to
single
get
game.
what, another $30 million?
30 million max contract?
What?
120 million? 120 million?
So he's got
150
He's
million.
going to have a lot of time to rehab. Leslie, we're going to send him to you to heal with some laser. He'll heal a whole lot faster, and they can get back in next year. I mean, seriously.
I mean, don't do something for
Does that
because of
sound
it.
like that's what America should be? You should get $130 million because you rupture your Achilles to play basketball? Really?
Hey, well, you know how much money he brings in? You got to remember something. Those stadiums per game bring in
I got some
mucho
issues with that.
millions.
It's not my show.
You know what she gives out in
What?
charity as well?
He ain't never give me no
You know they
check.
mostly just give out just to get the tax refunds, right?
He's still giving his money. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter how you get it.
Indifference is not the same thing as concern.
Yeah. And there you have it. And Lisa, what do you think about the Millennial Hour, your 2020 vision?
I don't know where it's gone.
You know what it is,
Welcome
Lisa?
to
There's
what it
so
is.
many issues right now that surround you guys. Well, you could do this for days.
I know. I think each generation just has to be more accepting into learning from like the younger generation, because I think the way you grow up, you're just so stuck on your beliefs and how you've grown up. So when you get older, it's like that's what's right. But then there's up and coming and like younger kids adapt more to what's going on in the now, and then other generations find it hard to like learn from them.
So
if that makes sense.
here's my question. What would you tell your younger self?
You know, you
No,
do that
not like
every
right
show.
now.
Right now?
No,
Well,
I'm talking about like
as
when
you-
I'm like older
well,
and the
now
next.
at 20, whatever you are.
20 something.
What would
21.
you tell third grade Lisa?
I don't know, because I don't
Anything
know.
you would change or do?
I haven't been here like long enough.
Ryan?
My point is like old, like my
What would you-
parents.
what would you tell
and
third grade
older.
Ryan?
I think I would tell third grade Ryan, you just got to stick it out.
Sarah?
I would tell third grade me to go to school more and to not skip in high school.
Oh, so you would change what you did.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Hector?
Hector.
Yeah, I didn't really have any.
No, it's not that. I'm just not really sure if it's legal for me to say.
No, it's
Oh,
not.
no.
No, it's not.
Mark,
That's
would
enough
you
of that.
change? What would you tell third grade Mark?
I don't know, just stay true to yourself and don't take things too seriously.
Dylan? Dylan.
Yeah, that's interesting, right?
I'd probably say have more confidence in myself and have more confidence.
Well, you know what? Do that now. Don't wait. Don't go back to the third grade. Let's do that now. Let's get more
Menashe?
confident.
kind of with you. I don't know what I'd tell my because in third grade, you're not really, you're just living life. Your parents are doing
really
everything.
know.
Maybe in a couple years, I'll be able to tell myself now something, but I think I need more time.
What would you tell yourself last year?
From last year, I'd probably tell myself, I tell myself a lot of things, but probably, things happen for a reason, that everything's a learning experience, and, not to get stuck in a cycle, but to evolve from it, evolve from the situation would probably be the biggest thing from last year.
Pretty good. Jen? What would you tell yourself?
Oh, I know exactly. Nobody cares what the mean girls think. Nobody. Girls in third grade are not a nice group
Which is
of
why I picked third grade,
individuals.
because I remember third grade, you guys are young, but man, that's when the bullying starts.
That's right.
It only
No,
gets
and
worse.
nobody cares about the cool kids and what the mean girls say.
Only thing I remember about third grade is I love Miss Ghosting. I
Or Gingy.
love.
Or Miss G.
Miss
All right,
Ghosting.
let's switch over to our radio hour, 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. We'll be back in 2 and 2. See you in a few.
That was us.
That was us.
All right.
The Money Talk Radio Network is WSBR Boca Raton, W280DU Boca Raton, and W245BC Lauderdale Lakes.
Those serving in our military, they're the difference makers. Separated from family, enduring hardships far from home, sacrificing for their country. Well, for those of us who support our armed forces through the USO, we get to make a difference too. Through the USO, we get to be the force behind the forces, connecting them to every comfort of family, home, and country possible. It's a good feeling to make a difference. Visit uso.org/force to learn how you can be the force behind the forces.
The China trade war is on. If you're worried about your investments, listen to Online Trading Academy Radio right here on WSBR. If you like to trade on your own and now think you should stay out of the markets till this thing blows over, listen to Online Trading Academy Radio. Find out how pro traders make money when markets go down. You'll learn how to protect investments from trade war markets, how down markets make money faster than up markets. Listen to Online Trading Academy Radio every day on WSBR. Or get to Online Trading Academy now for a free class. It's the only school in South Florida that teaches Wall Street investing. Call now for tickets to a free half-day class. You'll see how pro investors pick stocks and how money is made in up, down, and sideways markets. Online Trading Academy. Call now, 954-668-2510. 954-668-2510.
Gallbladder problems, gingivitis, a bad back, indigestion, fatigue, low libido, not sleeping well, need to lose weight. Just some of the topics you'll hear about. Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Martin. Join me Sunday mornings at 10 on Talk 1470 WNN.
What if I told you that getting omega-3 fatty acids daily just got easier? Amanda Williams here from Invite Health to tell you about the Invite Health Krill Oil. Krill Oil provides your body with the essential oils and antioxidants that are important for brain, heart, joint, and eye health. The EPA and DHA omega-3 fatty acids from Invite's Krill Oil are sustainable and 100% traceable from the seed to the capsule. Invite Health's Krill Oil is supplied in a vegetarian tapioca capsule, shown in clinical trials to enhance absorption. These easy-to-swallow capsules are extremely clean and won't leave you with that fishy aftertaste. Take advantage of this special offer from Invite Health. Buy one bottle of Invite's Krill Oil at suggested retail risk-free and get the second bottle free. Call now for free shipping. Contact Invite Health at 800-463-7575. Call 800-463-7575. You can also visit an Invite Health location or go to invitehealth.com. Invite Health, the luxury brand of vitamins.
Talk health, talk wealth, talk politics, talk 1470 and 95.3 FM, WNN.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, has a tremendous reputation for quality, service, and very competitive pricing for all of your travel needs. As a Cruise Planners travel advisor, Paul Vadiano will help you discover exciting adventures around the world, from cruises to land tours and completely packaged vacations. Paul specializes in all types of travel and will create an unforgettable vacation, wedding, or event just for you. Find Paul at www.cruiseoptics.com, on Facebook, or by phone at 561-232-2626. We make your travel dreams come true.
It's lunchtime, and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from Studio A in the heart of Delray Gallery, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free at 888-565-1470 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe, and I'm back in my seat.
How do you like that?
Lisa left it lumpy.
I'm not so sure Lisa wanted to get up from your seat.
I know, I'll give her my chair any day of the week. Welcome to all our friends. LA, San Francisco, Chicago, New York. Welcome to part 2. If you saw part 1, a 2020 show, it was pretty interesting. It was kind of cool.
2020 Vision, I think it was great. The kids Ryan really shared some transparency, which I think is remarkable. And I say all the time, sometimes I think part of our mission is to give, I can't say kids, I call them kids, but these millennials in this generation, the same platform that we offer to all of our other clients, but to give them a platform to share their voice. And what he came forward with, I think, was remarkable. And to come out and share that about being transgender and the surgeries and the hormones and insurance, things that we wouldn't know to talk about, that he felt comfortable enough talking about.
I wouldn't even know how to bring it up.
I truly commend him.
Seriously. And then we had Teach in the house, which is kind of convenient that we had her on with all this stuff going on. But it was interesting, the whole conversation. And I'm going to challenge them, because now you got a platform. I want you guys to build on this and bring in other people who want to talk about what you guys talked about today. And there won't be no more denying and saying, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't.
But they have also an open platform to come on the Gen G show.
And there you have
Absolutely.
it. And it grew. Look at it. It already grew in one day.
Absolutely.
And we'll do remotes and everything else. Look at this one.
We actually have helped some transgender people with their breasts when they've had the surgery to remove their breasts. We actually give laser therapy, and their scars heal beautifully.
Really?
So we support that as well.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't either. Well, welcome to it was 2020 Vision, but we've got kind of a thank you Tuesday to some of our sponsors that have been with us for, a long time of our journey here. So we've got Jen G with us of Moby Pop, does your business Moby Pop, which I love. And of course, Leslie Carmen from Carmen Care Laser. Give us a call, join our conversation, 888-565-1470. You can find us at 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. Roku's coming out.
Yes, we are. Kids are working on it now. We're doing all sorts
Gonna
of
be
stuff.
uploading
We're going to
shows.
do
I love-
5 new shows this
I love seeing everybody work. Bring your computers. We have a new, if we haven't scared him off, intern producer with us. We've got Mark. It was funny because I went out for dinner with Mark's mom and I haven't seen her in a long time. And she says, so I saw there was an ad for the Brooklyn Cafe TV that you're looking for interns. I said, yes. She says, that's you, right? I said, yes. She says, do you think? I said, have him call me. And he did, and here he is. Totally a different background than our other crew. Comes to us with a finance business background.
Now, I got a question.
Yes.
The summer's here, so we're going to be doing more remotes, at least 2 or 3 a week,
Uh-huh.
right? Because we like to go out with the sun and the hurricane and all that stuff.
There you go.
They're asking me, can they wear like Bahama shorts and their cafe? They want to do beach style. I want to do a beach theme when we do remotes. Can we do that?
As long as the bees aren't showing.
What bees? What are you talking
The
about?
bees of your body, if they stay covered, then yes.
No, like Bermuda shorts, you know, like the flowers. What is wrong with you? Not coconut tops.
No coconut tops, no booty showing, no bees showing.
No, not bathing suits, not bikinis. It's like beachwear, like the shorts. Like Gio gave me that. You saw that orange thing?
You gonna wear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a bunch of those.
I'm a little
Can we do
scared.
that?
Can you tell the hesitation in my voice? I'm a little nervous on what you're letting our crew wear.
Why?
Because we'll chat. Fingertip length shorts. I mean, what are we gonna chat about? I don't know. That still has to
No,
be a
you
level
don't-
of professionalism
See,
to what we do.
You just took all the air out of the bag.
Sorry, no coconut bathing suits.
No,
and thongs.
no. Well, wait a minute.
You can watch plenty of that because this Friday, well, you can't watch the bathing suits this Friday. This Friday is our 3-year anniversary at Crazy Uncle Mike's in Boca Raton. We spoke with Mike today, and he has generously offered for everyone who orders a lunch a free beer to join to have a party and have some fun with us.
That's right. You get a free beer and you can have lunch and the whole 9 yards. You also have a runway. We're going to be doing some runway modeling. I
Karen from KWN is going to be there with her runway and some of her designs. And Game of Axis is bringing out their mobile throwing unit. So if you want to come out and have some fun, throw some axes, not in Crazy Uncle Mike's, it will be outside in
They
the
got a
mobile
mobile
throwing
unit,
unit.
yes.
Go zoop.
And all the handles have been weighed, so there is no bouncing it off. It's never going to happen.
They are 100% hickory handles. They are not rubber. Things you get to learn on this show, the information that you never knew you needed, but you do need. No rubber handles on the axes. They are all hickory-based wood.
And Mama Ali just called me. She's coming. She wants to do a whole section on boxers. I asked her to bring Holyfield and all these people.
I'm sure she does.
Bring them all. Bring every boxer. We'll go ding, 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 ding.
And
Let
then
them
next Thursday,
go.
we just got confirmation we're going to be at the Wyndham Deerfield Beach at Cafe Med.
And you know what that's going to do? We're taking the lollipop.
We're taking Moby Pop with us.
Yes, we're
and
gonna
that's
do
when
a-
you can watch the coconut bikinis because they own 3 plots of sand across the street, which I think is the funniest thing I've ever heard, that now sand is for sale in South Florida because you can now buy lots on the beach and be on the sand.
You're funny. I don't even know how to answer that. 3 lots on the
They
beach?
own 3 lots.
It's
across
just
from
3
the Radisson-
squares.
from
It's
the
like 3
Wyndham.
miles.
So that you can watch all the coconuts you want out there, Freddie.
There is no coconuts
as long
out
as
there.
our kids aren't wearing coconuts, you can
No,
watch
I'm
them.
not going on the beach because there's sand.
There we digress. Give us a call at 888-565-1470. We hope to see you all at Crazy Uncle Mike's. I think we've got, 60 people so far
I don't
RSVP
know.
for Friday?
I lost track.
Let's come out and have some fun. I think Jen's going to be with us, I know. No, no, you're not. You're doing a talk.
I have an event I have to be
You
at.
have an event that you're doing something which is really exciting, if you can share, I don't know.
So I'll be at an event that teaches you how to craft your master story. Everybody has a master story, so people get to know you better and how you take all the pieces of your life, condense them, and create a really concise master story to help people understand who you are, and then you can help more people.
How big is this book? Master Story. I mean, is it like a big
It's
book?
it's when you speak verbally. It's a verbal thing. I mean,
So-
you could put it in a book, I'm sure, but it's really when you, not your elevator pitch or anything like that. So I believe, and this is how I've always been in business, that relationships matter.
Okay.
And one of the reasons why I don't like those like hit it and quit it networking events is because you don't get to learn who people are and what they do.
Okay.
And I always network my network. So when you can take your story of who you are, like you have such a great story of why you do what you do and what your passion is for and why you want to help other people. So if you can take that and make it a very relatable, easy story for people, you'll be able to reach more.
So is this has to do everything with your launching of your new program?
No, I mean, yes, that's definitely a piece of it, of how I went from like history teacher to owning, Moby Pop for sure, because the road looks like this to get to where I am.
So it's, at the end of the day, this is about you, the person?
It's about the individual, about people
person.
crafting their own stories, about how they got to where they were, and hopefully along the way, what you've learned will help other people in their journey.
That's interesting. Who's putting that up?
Andy Enriquez.
Is that one person?
Mm-hmm.
Andy Enriquez?
Andy Enriquez.
Think about crafting your story. And Jen and I were talking a little bit about it. And when she told her story before, there was one version, and he kind of went whoop and condensed it.
He did a great job.
It's like, I don't know where Sarah is, but when you wrote the article, and I felt badly asking you to condense it, and I'm going to ask you to condense it some more, because there's a lot of, when you write for the Gazettes or you're going to share your story, people want to say, all right, and the point is.
How long is this story piece? How long do you speak for?
Well, it's really about teaching people how to craft their story, and
Right.
the thought is really in any business or to catch people's attention, you have about 3 seconds. And
I'm supposed to tell you my story in 3 seconds?
No, you're supposed to capture their attention in 3 seconds. You could take longer to tell your story,
Okay.
but if you have someone who is not articulate from the beginning, people are less likely to listen to their entire story.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to teach people who are less articulate to become more articulate?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, because I would need like 3 months.
I was going to say, you up for the challenge?
I'm kind of afraid. I have so many stories, I don't know where to begin.
But I think it's not the stories you know, it's the stories
Of me.
your journey, right?
Yes, it's the story of your journey. And the goal is, my goal, everybody has a different goal of why they tell their story. My goal is to talk about how to help other people along their path of entrepreneurship. It's a lonely path sometimes you feel like you're free falling, and to really give people hope and just keep going. You hear all these people get up on stage at 10X and things like that, but they're multimillionaires, and you're like, okay, Grant, gotcha. But to hear somebody like me tell my story, like I'm right here in front of you, there's not 100,000 people here yet.
We're taking her big.
Then she'll be at the next level. Another one of those millionaires.
Which is, to that point, Leslie, what is your story?
Well, my story is that my daughter was sick with a disease that there is no cure, no known cure. And instead of just giving up, I took that and changed her life. And now she is pain-free. And we took the knowledge that we learned from that and opened up our own clinic, and have now been helping hundreds and hundreds of people.
Jen, what does that look like to you?
Well, I mean, there's so many things that you did the condensed.
Yes, I
but
did.
To hear your whole story of how your journey was, nothing helped, and to be a mother
Correct.
watching their child helplessly, how many people have been in that position, and to say, look, you have to research, doctors will tell you one thing, and so you take everybody's advice together, and then you can talk about how you took everybody's advice, and with that said, you knew there was a better way. And how many
Exactly.
people feel that there's a better
Well,
way?
but Jen,
Yeah.
let me ask you a question, because psychologically it affects you when you're going through all these changes and you get put down and then
Mm-hmm.
put down, and the highlight of your week is being put down. It changes you,
Of
right?
course.
So you have to come 360 in order to do what you want them to do and tell their story. How does that work?
Yes, well, a few things. One, if you keep getting put down and put down and put down, you need to change your circle of people.
Okay.
That, for
That's
me,
fair.
that's the first thing. If everybody keeps putting you down, you go find yourself some new friends.
Okay.
You know, and I do think as entrepreneurs, people are always like, that's never going to work, or that's not okay, or what do you think you're doing? And in my case, it was, you have a history background. Why don't you just continue teaching? Which, fine, I love teaching, nothing wrong with that, but I knew that if I woke up in the morning and wasn't able to give my students 110% of myself, that would be the day that I stopped teaching, and that was the day.
You had a different calling?
I
Because
just-
a business mind and teaching, I mean, I understand certain teachers that do very well in business, not to say nothing,
Mhm.
but two different worlds here.
Definitely two different worlds, but I will tell you this is what I learned. So I was a high school history teacher. So everything is selling, right, in life. Everything is, whether you want to go out to a movie or dinner or teach somebody. So I was selling every day to an audience that didn't want to buy what I was selling.
History.
It's all right, captive audience. So you have to really figure out a way to infuse.
Did you feel that or did you know that?
Oh, early on in my career, I felt that, but then when people started to, I taught very differently than how
I'm
the
dying
majority
to
of
ask
people
you that question.
You want to know what her
teach. Yeah, just humor and make it fun and just not like some stuff you can't make fun, but understanding and meet the students where they're at. That was huge for me. So if you had students who had a lot to say, but they weren't necessarily good at writing an essay, don't write the essay. Let's figure out another way to get your voice heard. You don't have to write me an essay.
See, that's what made you a good teacher, because I was sucky when it came to taking tests and stuff. Man, but I can talk. I can show you, I can design, I can do all sorts of crazy stuff. But I couldn't take these tests.
Can you imagine telling your story of how you ended up here?
No.
Yo, talk about a crazy, winding
Oh my
road.
God, no.
Yeah.
It's scary. I'm
What
scared.
was the first career you had?
The first career I had,
What was your first?
my very first job for somebody else, for someone, not my father, for somebody else was John Hancock. And I worked for the man. And they challenged me right out of the gate. I became #1 selling agent in New York in less than 8 months. But it was I was driven for the same reason that now I look back and say I shouldn't have done that, because somebody else drove me.
Mm-hmm.
They played with my head. And it worked. And that game has changed now, because it's like I tell the kids, you know, you got a platform here, go forward. You look at role models like you have today, learn from it. They're right in front of you. Take advantage of it. Ask the questions. Don't be shy. Put your toe in the water. Come in on deep end. What is it? Shallow?
Jump in the deep end.
Jump in the deep end, because the water's fine. But take advantage of the fact that you have people in here who probably have been through the wars, because people
Definitely.
must have thought you were nuts.
Oh my gosh, it's been insane. And when we were talking about, you know, the path that it's lonely, I cannot tell you how many times I spent Saturdays and Sundays crying in my clinic, not knowing how am I going to pay the bills, how am I going to get through. No support from any medical community, because they still think I'm nuts, right? You know, and what I learned, and I think the biggest advice to anybody starting their business, is just listen to others, but with caution, because they are going to give you advice based on their limitations, not yours. People would always tell me, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. And I kept saying, no, you can't do this, but I can.
Watch me.
And exactly. And that is really the biggest thing, is trust yourself and just always believe in yourself and just be honest, have integrity, and just keep plowing through and don't give up. Just never give up.
And you do. You keep going. You
I
had,
do.
You had a tough weekend. We've had our tough moments. Yesterday was one of those.
Yeah, but you know something, it always comes back to when I first met you, because it isn't supposed to be perfect. You got to make some changes in the game. You've made changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I say to myself, what would Jen do? Got to make a change. Yesterday, we had problems at the radio station with sound.
We had no internet here. Yesterday was one of those
It
days.
was horrible.
Someone said, how did you get on air? I said, we didn't. And they looked in horror last night. They said, you didn't. I said, we did not get on air.
We couldn't.
Recorded it. We couldn't get on. The router was hit by lightning. We didn't have enough juice to even get on radio. It was beyond our control. There was nothing we could do. And then the rain came, and then we had a meeting, and that went sideways, and another meeting went sideways, and there was no sound in NN. And you said to me, the night's almost over. I'm like, yeah.
But we had
It's almost over.
But we had a great day, because the last 4 shows we did, and we talked about you, and we talked about you with these guests that came in, and I got a whole bunch of stuff to share. All of a sudden, there was a reason why it didn't work. It was meant so you can appreciate, and again, call me crazy if you want, you can appreciate the good things that come. Because sometimes we take for granted the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened. And I said to myself last night, I said, Dawn, it's going to be all right, because today is a new day. And my goodness, it is hot today. I can hear it's clear as a freaking bell. I don't know what they did to the Wi-Fi or to the internet, but my goodness, it's hot.
Clear. I thought you were being
It is,
metaphorical.
no, it's
Oh,
clear.
no.
And I don't know who's on the other side of the radio station. I'm hoping they can hear us, but it is clear, and there's a whole new path. I see a whole new vision. I'm going to take this game to another level.
And I have to tell you, Jen loved The Verdict.
I loved it.
Wasn't that
Jay
fabulous?
too. It's really, really good.
Excellent.
Have you ever met Jay and Janine Leslie?
I haven't,
I need to
no.
introduce you.
They're
because
lovely.
talk about two people that hit diversity and they hit controversy straight on.
Mhm.
And there are times when they say, I don't know if we're going to eat dinner.
Mhm.
They'll pay us and they say, we don't have enough money to even go get groceries.
But that was some show.
And they keep going. What they say, we want another hour.
And they got phone calls. There were people calling and did not want to go on the air. Check that out.
I saw that part. I
They
saw
would not
Janine gave
come
a
on.
different, not the radio number, they gave their office
own
number.
Because
Yeah.
people were calling and they had cases that they wanted Jay to review. They didn't want to reveal them on air. And that's what it is. It's about getting that controversy out there and hitting it face on and saying, you know what, other people need to know. They should not be being taken advantage of by corporate America, that there are options. And this is an attorney we'd like to introduce, you
Love
two.
that.
Or,
Yeah.
Yes.
So what a show. And Jen loved the backdrop. We've talked about changing some things at NN.
Well, we got some stuff going there as well. I don't want to let the air out of the bag because they're at the station. But the other thing I like to do is I like to take the verdict and take it with us on a remote and put them in different places. I want to shop that deal around. Same thing with this lovely lady here. Because I think that what people don't understand is if you do the same thing over and over again, it doesn't make you better at it. It just makes you do it. And until you raise the level of your awareness of that, I look at some of the things when I was growing up, the injuries and things that you could have helped people avoid. I would have had players longer playing for me if they knew you. Because you take your body into consideration, all of a sudden the game changes.
Yep.
Everything changes.
Let's go to commercial break. When we come back, let's talk about what Carmen Care is doing these days. 888-565-1470. More with Moby Pop. We'll be right back.
At Carmen Care Advanced Laser Therapy, our professional team specializes in finding the best alternative laser therapy treatments for your painful conditions. Do you suffer with chronic pain, a post-traumatic injury, or simply looking for the benefits of cell rejuvenation to the skin? Schedule a consultation today to understand how photobiomodulation can help reduce your symptoms, reduce or even eliminate pain. Give us a call today, 561-405-9577. We focus on treating you who has a disease, not a disease that defines who you are. Contact Carmen Care Laser Therapy today, 561-405-9577 or CarmenCareLaser.com.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.daniellebuljan.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Dawn and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll free. Come on in for a cup of coffee or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. Don't forget, sharing is caring, and to like this video. Let's reopen the cafe doors now. Back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back.
And we are back at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. I love that we are unscripted because you never know where the conversation's going to go.
Hey, Dawn, how come you call this thing the Brooklyn Cafe TV?
How come you asking me?
I'm asking you, putting you on the spot. Why the hell would you call the show that?
You want to know?
Yeah.
Because you had a partner and I had a partner.
That wasn't the reason. Next.
And
That wasn't the reason.
The only thing left of when our partnerships broke up was we had a banner at BCT, and it said the Brooklyn Cafe on it. And the banner hung behind me in that chair, and it's the only thing that we had left.
Nope.
And we kept the name. I've got 2 round to it.
Nope.
You want a round to it?
The reason we kept the name is because we didn't know what the hell to call it.
And we had a banner that said the Brooklyn Cafe. It was good as anything else.
Okay, because people are asking me.
And that would be why.
That would be why. We didn't know why.
The banner, I think, is still in the closet. We should hang it
We
for
should. Put it in
for
the-
your
anniversary
for
party.
our anniversary party.
Our
It was one of those
They're black and white.
One of those banners with the grommets, and that is how the name stuck because the boy and the broad from Brooklyn didn't make any sense, and the Puerto Rican and
the broad and the broad didn't make any sense. She made a show called Two Broads from Boca. That made a whole lot of sense.
The boy from the Bronx and the girl from Boca, that didn't work either.
That didn't work either.
Listen, wasn't that like with Apple, where they didn't know the name of Apple? He took a bite and he put it on the desk, and he said, "Until we have a name, that's what it is."
Is
And that's
that a
why-
true
yeah,
story?
that's a true. I mean, that's what I heard. But yes, they didn't have a name. He
Holy
took the name of the
smokes.
bite. Apple put it on, and that's why Apple has a bite in it.
How did Moby Pop get its name?
My partner Cherie Collins, we were talking about different names and fun things, and in marketing, I like to be further away from what we are to cause, to start a conversation. So we just kind of started talking about names, and we came up with Moby Pop.
Which is a mobile pop.
A mobile,
pop.
it's your digital mobile platform for your business, which is,
It's like iPick. His son says, "I want to pick a movie." He says, "Okay, we'll call it iPick."
Yeah.
Because this way I can pick what I want.
That's
right?
awesome.
How things evolve. And tell us about Carmen Care, what's going on, because you were saying briefly, you've got some modalities that are helping heal. We can
Correct.
say heal, we can't say cure, we can
Yes.
say heal.
Correct. And so what I've come to understand more and more and more is that it's really so important to address those three things that we were talking about: healing the cells on a cellular level, which we do with the laser therapy, healing the cells from the toxins that we are subjected to. They're all over: air, water, food. And then also the emotional component, because when somebody's been suffering for so long, it just becomes a trigger. And I always bring this example: when you have glasses on and you've had them on for a while, you take them off, sometimes you feel you still have the glasses on, right? And that's because your cells have that memory of feeling the glasses. And so you take the glasses off, and then you have to kind of say, "Oh yeah, right, I don't have the glasses on," and now your cells go back to the memory, no glasses. So imagine if your cells can do that, feel those glasses on when they're technically not even there. And now you've had pain for years and decades. Your cells have that memory of pain. So you really need to address that and talk to your cells. I know this sounds very ridiculous, but it's out there. More and more studies are coming, and I see this on Facebook and on the news and so forth, that you have to really talk to your cells, and you can talk to your cells and give them a different memory, a positive memory, that, now your pain is subsiding and you're doing laser, you're doing detox, you're getting rid of the pain. So you've got to address that as well. So I address those three things together, and the results have been so amazing, so astounding. I had one patient just come 2 days ago. Her ex-husband, what an amazing sign of love for him. He knew that his ex-wife was suffering so bad of trigeminal neuralgia. Her pain level was at a 12. And he just heard about us. He texted me quickly, if we're still there in Boca. I said, yes, we are. And he said, I want to try and bring my wife or ex-wife. I said, sure, let me know when you're coming. Well, I can't remember what day it was, Thursday, I think. The door opens. He comes in and he says, I'm so-and-so, and this is my ex-wife, and she's standing there all bundled up. Her face was distorted. If anybody knows TN, it's just like, it was just terrible. She was crying. She was in unbearable pain. He said, look, I just had to take the car and come down here and just see what you could do.
Where did he come from?
Texas. We actually came from Chicago, picked her up from Texas, and drove through the night to us. And a friend actually loaned him that car and gave them gas money to get there. And so I said, look, he said he was going to go home that night. I said, no, you come here. I'll treat her tonight. Stay in a hotel. I'll treat you tomorrow morning, and then we'll see how she's doing. Well, that morning when she came back already, they were crying of tears of joy this time, because she had suffered for 4 years, that kind of pain level. The doctors had told her, we're done. We cannot help you anymore. It's over. We just can't help you. And after one treatment, she was able to have less pain. And he told us that for 4 years, she would have to shower in 2 goes. One in the bottom of her body, because she'd have so much pain. She'd have to lie down and recuperate several hours to be able to wash the rest of her body. And after one treatment, she showered in 1 go.
Wow.
So, it gives me goosebumps. And so we treated her that next morning, and he said they have to go home. They have to bring the car back. But they said they were going to now go home and try and save money, to be able to afford her treatments.
How did she leave when she left?
She was hugging us and crying out of joy.
So she felt better.
Yes, and it was unbelievable.
Now, with that situation, because she's away from you now, is it going to get worse again if she doesn't come back? Or?
I don't know yet. Probably, it just depends what her root cause is. But I did that herpes zoster detoxing, that laser that I do, and I just have known this from again, I don't diagnose everybody. I'm just saying what I experience. I don't diagnose, but what I've experienced of people that have this shocking pain in the face, is stabbing. Everybody seems to be positive for this herpes zoster virus, and now when I detox it, it's the shocks tend to stop, and that's what happened with this woman. Her main pain was that shock, constant, non-stop shock, and she said she felt better. So you were asking, what I want to do with Carmen Care, and my heart is just more and more going towards helping these people with trigeminal neuralgia. We help back and knees and all that. That's great, but trigeminal is a suicide disease. These people are suffering pain that we can't even imagine. And I'm just looking for sponsors. I'm putting, I tried to do a foundation, but then the lawyers were telling me, you can't do that. That would be self-serving. So I'm like, okay, I can't do a foundation. It's illegal to do that and to pay myself. So I can't do that. So somebody was saying, well, try to go to organizations. They give their grants, they give money to people in distress or people in pain or women and so forth. So that's really going to be my next step, because these people, they need help and we can help them. That's what's so frustrating, that we can help them and nobody's listening.
Because you have to get the word out, and people have to hear it all the time. TN to me sounds like shingles in the nerve endings in your jaw. And
right.
I can see it.
Well, we talked about
I got
that.
this weird vision in my head of what it looks like. And if you can detox this herpes zoster and it can stop the inflammation in this shingles virus in their jaw, then some of the pain. I mean, you had shingles.
I
You
had
think
shingles.
about that nerve.
Everybody
pain
we
that
talked
you have,
about that. We brought this up had shingles.
Yeah.
Which is scary.
which is the same as the chickenpox. It's that same varicella
Worse.
zoster.
I'm gonna tell you
It's that
worse.
same
The
virus.
pain that you get when you get shingles, your nerve endings, they're on fire.
On fire. And that's what they have. They have their symptoms are, my head is on fire, my teeth, it's like pulling your teeth without a anesthesia or anything like that. And they just think they can't take a shower because the face, the water, hitting.
It hurts.
It hurts like crazy. They can't be out on the wind. She was all bundled up. It's usually one side. It's so painful. They can't eat, barely, I mean, it's a terrible, terrible disease. And when you have this where you have 4 years of doctors saying, we're done, we cannot help you, and then 2 treatments of our protocol and she's better, I mean, this just has to come out. This has to be known, and they don't listen. I go on the TN websites and I say, please let me explain what we do, and they're like, nope, we don't want you, we don't. It's like scam. It's just really hard. That's why I'm so thankful for you guys to help us spread the word.
Oh my gosh, there's so much more.
One day you're going to help somebody in politics, son or
Yeah,
daughter.
right.
That's the way it's going to work out.
Yeah.
You're going to turn somebody else's life around. They're going to say, well, where you been? Because usually accidents like that happen. But can you imagine if you had your kid and they're going through this and they refuse to do it because somebody says, nah, try this doctor, try this doctor, try this, try this, try this. Take painkillers. My father tried a painkiller. He calls me, he says, there's something wrong with me. I said, why? He's never taken a painkiller in 89 years of life. And now he doesn't know what it feels like. He says, there's got to be something wrong with me. I feel like I'm floating. I said, Dad, that's the painkiller. I ain't taking this no more. This is craziness. Who could live like this? Just like you're saying, his body doesn't understand what's happening to him. So he's off of that.
And it's the brain changing. Teddy had surgery on both eyes last week, which is why she's not here. And I'd even think about it. I said, how are you feeling? She said, my brain can't recognize what I'm now seeing. And I didn't even think, to me, I was thinking pain and swelling, and her brain can't adjust right now to what they've done to her eye muscles. So that's why she's still not here. She can't open one of her eyes. Can you help with that?
We could with the other Delta laser that we use, which is a low level laser. So there are different types of classes, and so the class 4 you never go close to the eye. Yeah, but then we have other devices, and yes, you could technically support and increase the healing time.
Think about what the brain does. The brain just, you have pain, but your brain is what's recognizing and all these nerve endings. But
Right.
that you can help so many people at Carmen Care. That girl Emily Jen was talking to about.
Right, Emily.
Her story is remarkable that she walks.
She came in November in a wheelchair at 18. Well, she was like 17 and a half. And at 16, she was so sick, she was diagnosed with ME, which is this chronic fatigue, but painful. And her mother had to stop working and take care of her. And she was just in a wheelchair, basically, and at home all day. And she found us through the internet, through the BuzzFeed series that they did. And she called. We had a Skype call together with the parents, and they decided, you know what, let's take a shot because the options are horrible. Also, her doctors in England couldn't help her, really. They were like, we don't know what to do. So she came. We did that 3-week protocol, the 21 days we do. And she already left walking. I remember, I think it was the 5th day where she walked in without the wheelchair. And it's very emotional too, right? So then she got better, she left, she went home, and she did so well that her dad wanted us to see her walk. So she came, when was it? I think in February. I don't know, the months go by so fast. But
we saw like 2 months ago.
2 months ago, yeah. And she walks in, and we were having our show together, and she walks in, and I see her, and she was just a changed person. And her life is completely returned. She's, wants to work and do all sorts of things with her life. And what was really, really awesome is the last night they invited me for dinner, and we were at the restaurant, and they said, we just want you to know that our last dinner that we had, Emily was over there in a wheelchair, and we wanted to celebrate in this restaurant her walking. So there were so many amazing moments,
I got a question for you. I saw on the news today that now Facebook has come up with this thing that they can tell you by reading your profile. Is that what it's called? Whether you have anxiety, whether you have high blood pressure, whether you have diabetes.
Interesting.
And it's funny the way they're doing it. I guess Facebook takes you and they can tell you what commercials you like looking at, what stuff you like in your feed, and yada, yada, yada. And based on these logarithms, they're able to tell you if you have diabetes, if you have high blood pressure.
Did you do it?
No, I just saw the article. No, they're doing it automatically. They're going to come out with a platform to show you how it works. But my question is this. Can you help people with anxiety?
Yes, we can help people with anxiety. We would do more. So there's a certain protocol with that Delta laser that works on the anxiety. We have different points in the body. So the laser therapy can help with that. Technically, the FDA is only clearing laser for pain. So I'm kind of talking out of the realm with that. But this device promotes that it can help with anxiety. And we've seen it in our clinic happen. But anxiety is very often also due to toxins. So I've found people that have unbelievable anxiety, and we can't explain it. And when we do the detox of Accutane, don't ask me where the Accutane is. It's maybe in the water or somewhere, but as soon as we detox from that, the anxiety goes down like crazy.
You might have.
Great. No,
Let
go
me-
ahead.
How long does Accutane stay in your system? Like, because back in like the 90s, they were putting kids who had very, very bad cystic acne on
Right.
Accutane.
Yeah.
And you basically have to sign your life away to
Yeah.
say that you want to be on this.
It's very
specifically
bad.
for females. So I'm wondering, how long does Accutane stay in your body?
I wouldn't know how to answer that question,
Okay.
but the only thing is what we found is many people are positive for that Accutane. When we muscle test them, their arm goes weak. And then I just detox some of that Accutane, and their whole demeanor changes. So toxins can be really responsible for this anxiety and depression that we're all feeling, because it goes to the brain, and the brain is responsible for all that.
That's an interesting subject matter, because the kids coming out of school, they are strung out, man. I mean, I can see it, I can feel it. They come here, they're all, except for Mark. Mark is like laid back. He's kind of
But
cool.
there's so many things. So imagine these toxins being in your water or being in the environment, and you're not even
Aware?
consciously ingesting
Yeah.
them, right? But they're just part of the environment, and it's affecting everybody.
Everything. And when you take a pill and you smoke cigarettes, it affects you a different way. And if you're drinking, it affects you a different
Then
way.
you have an energy drink, and a study just came out on that.
Just
Another
see that?
study,
Craziness.
right?
It's crazy. And if you're thinking all the people that are taking all these pills goes through your body, out through the urine. The urine is in our water. The water isn't going to be filtering all that stuff. And they say the baby's born today with over 800 toxins already, and it hasn't even breathed one breath of air yet.
Did you hear? We had a guy on here yesterday that says Coca-Cola cannot supply the United States. the northern hemisphere, whatever they call it, because there isn't enough sugar in the world for it. So they've put in sugar substitutes. Because if they had all the sugar in the world, we inhale Coca-Cola.
Right.
Right?
So
He said
bad.
that
We're
yesterday.
saying that we can't, Coca-Cola cannot supply the United States with the amount of sugar it needs for the amount of Coke that people are drinking in this
that's
country.
insane.
That's
right?
craziness.
That's great. Let's go to commercial break. Give us a call, 888-565-1470. You guys are very quiet over there.
They are. We're going to hit them next with the question.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Let's all welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming, as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages, or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's A-M-P, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422.
Do you want to enhance your love life with flowers? Rejuvenate love, life, health with flowers from Blossom Moments? Weekly deliveries to your home, your business, hospital, or even senior centers. Give us a call at 561-951-6343. Blossom Moments could also coordinate your wedding or event. Contact Blossom Moments at bmgevents.net. For all of your floral event needs, large or small, call Blossom Moments. 561-951-6343. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you for watching the Brooklyn Cafe, where every day is a new adventure. If you'd like to join Dawn and Freddie S. at the cafe, give them a call at 888-565-1470 toll-free. Come on in for a cup of coffee or call to share a thought for the day and get all the information you need to help your business grow. Don't forget, sharing is caring, and to like this video. Let's reopen the cafe doors now. Back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And today's your birthday. Happy birthday, Steve-O from New York Sounds.
At least that was less than 10 seconds.
I know. Steve-O, congratulations. You two are now 21 years of age.
Wow, watching everyone grow up. How do you like that?
It's kind of scary.
Steve-O's joining us Friday at Crazy Uncle Mike's.
Yes.
Okay.
He's going to be doing, actually, New York Sounds are providing the tunes. We're going to do some DJ stuff and all that. I'm going to keep it off the board and complain to Facebook that it's background noise. See how that works.
Always going around Facebook.
Got to find another way. What is it? A workaround?
There's always a workaround.
There's always a workaround. We always think of Gen G as our workaround. We've got Gen G from Moby Pop and the Gen G Show. Thursday nights now at 6:30 at WNN. And Leslie Carmen from Carmen Care Laser, Advanced Laser. You would change the name.
Yes, we are Carmen Care Cell Regeneration Center.
Which I like a lot.
Thank you.
Because it's
Yep.
more than the laser. Jen, who is your guest on Thursday night? You've got a big guest coming up.
Yes, Thursday night we have two people. So they are associated with the Fort Lauderdale Sea and Air Show. sponsored by Hyundai, and we have the executive producer, Mickey, coming, and the person who coordinates all this stuff, and this is his real name. His name is Happy.
Oh, that's Happy. Okay. And
I met Happy. I know Happy.
Do you know Happy? Happy
Yes.
will be with us on Thursday.
And I know how you met him. That's how I know him.
That is so funny.
Somebody introduced me to him a couple of years ago, but we'll see if it's the same Happy.
How many Happies can there be?
Yeah,
I
how
know.
many can there be?
Who knows?
How many can there? So what are you going to be talking about?
Well, one of their missions is to help raise the awareness for veterans. And they have a foundation. So we want to talk about how the Fort Lauderdale Land and Sea Show coordinates with veterans to help them assimilate back into society with their medical conditions. So they really have so much around that. And, you know, I love to talk about the charities and how we can give back. So we're going to talk about that. And they have a clip they're going to bring up from the show and talk. They're doing a movie about it. So we're going to put it all together before the movie launches.
A lot of history with that air show. A lot of history. And I've only been in Florida, I think, 14, 15 years. But there's a lot since I've been down here. I used to live down in Fort Lauderdale, and I was in politics and all that.
Were you?
Yeah.
What's the story?
Well, at the time, they stopped doing it because
did.
there was a big accident. So they stopped it.
Yeah.
And then they brought it back little by little. And then there was controversy on that part. But it's a whole lot of fun.
People love the Air and Sea Show, which is a great venue. It'll be on the Genji Show on Thursday at WNN, 6:30 p.m., 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. We've got a lot of new shows that we've been launching, and
Yes.
it's summer, but we keep going. And that's the other thing I want to talk to you ladies about. Business and summer in South Florida.
And I wanted to ask a question. I got
that's
a
right,
couple of
yeah.
people. I got a couple of people that are writing in that they want to discuss about how do you get out of those doldrums. You know, when you are in business and you spend weekends crying and everything else, how am I going to make ends meet and everything else? How do you get through the business when you're starting growth? The summer comes, things sort of quiet down. How do you get through it? What do you do? How do you keep? You're your only fan, right? Until all the parades come in, you're the only one you can rely on to tap yourself on the back and keep going. How do you do it?
Well, for me, I don't take a salary. You live with your mom.
This ain't going the way I thought.
Right, no, that's not the way you thought it was coming out. No, what you do is best would be to prepare. Obviously, with sometimes it's very difficult because you know we're still new. So we're 6 years in business. However, I've been told that it does take 10 years until you can really say you've made it.
Is that really
So,
true? 10
yeah,
years?
it's really true. They say it's not 5 years anymore because there's just such an oversaturation of new businesses, of new things. It takes
a
10
long
years.
way to go, Freddie.
Yeah, but let me get this right. What you do is so different. Is now it's going to be 10 years or 6 years or 7 years because you're new or because it's just a business
I
model?
think it's new. Just everybody that's new, it's going to take a while. I've spoken to a lot of different people who have their own business, and I try to get mentored by them. And I love going to people who are extremely successful and ask them if they don't mind sharing some information with me. And that's maybe a tip that's really helpful. And they're wonderful. People who are multimillionaires, they're so happy to share with you. And then they give me suggestions, and I listen and I move around and change things, and it's just really about just hanging in there. Really, somehow a miracle. It just works. It just always works somehow.
Cafe. Then Jen,
And Jen, how do you do it?
I would say it's similar. Surround yourself with the right people, which is why I love what we do together. So we've become friends in addition to I'm a sponsor and I have a show, because there'll be times, like I watched my show and I emailed Dawn. I'm like, all right, listen, girl, I need some pointers. Like, you know, and I can text her or email her and she gets right back to me. So surround yourself by the right people for sure, 100%. And then the other one is exactly what you said, Leslie, is go to people who are successful. So I've been very intentional of seeking out people who've made millions of dollars and have become I guess, students of theirs personally. Like I've become a student of Forbes Riley. Like I know Forbes Riley well. She's sold $2.6 billion of merchandise in the exercise field. And I can call her up and she will answer my call if I have a question. And I go to these people to help mentor me. And I look for people that I believe align with my business sense, but who will also challenge me, because I don't know if you know this about me, but I have a really strong personality.
Yeah, I know. But you know what I was saying to both you ladies before is you're honest, and things in business happen, right? And there are times where you say, Jen went to pay, she goes, I only have my deposit slips with me.
Yeah.
Let me get it to you tomorrow. Someone else said, I wrote the check out of a wrong account. let me pay you tomorrow. If you could just be honest in
Yeah,
business,
honest,
and that's the one thing that you and I try to do all the time is be authentic. We are this way on camera and off. You may not like us, but this is who we are on camera and off of camera. And when business and that you're starting up and you're working together and growing our network and doing what we do, I just wish that people would be honest and say, this is the situation. Can we do this? Can we do that?
It helps
Because-
immensely.
right?
Yeah. Like I had some months where I couldn't pay rent. I could not pay rent. So I went to my landlord and I asked him, I said, look, I just can't make rent. It's summer and I'm new. And I said, they had a church at the time. And I said, look, I will do anything. I'll treat your people. I'll come and clean the church on Saturdays or Sundays. I'll do anything to barter, or I'll pay it back with interest, whatever I can do. And he was so helpful. And he just said, okay, do what you can and just keep me updated. And every month I tell him, okay, I can pay a little bit, but not this month. So the thing is, talk to your vendors. They're all people with heart, and they've all actually been probably at the same place you are. And it's so true. Just talk and things will work out.
And I think the other thing is to your point, 100%, be honest. If you think something is a misunderstanding, talk to the people. Don't go around it. Don't go ghost on people. Like, if you respect the people and they've been there with you, have a conversation, clear it up, and move on.
Well, let me ask you a different
100%
question then, because you got two different cities here. There are times when I talk to Jen that I want to take it to another level, and I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know if this idea is going to pop.
Right.
I don't know. I don't really care. I want to see it go, and then we go.
Right.
And I feel I can do that with Jen. On the other side, because it's health related, it sort of becomes a little bit more, it better work.
Right.
Because if it doesn't work, you're going to have a whole lot of angry people on the other side. So there's like a different tale here.
Well, yes and no. It's the expectations. I always tell people, look, there's no guarantee with the health. There just is no guarantee. But what I can guarantee you is that we're going to give 120% to help you. And people have never been angry at if something didn't work. And it usually does.
Well, you have a nice set of people, because I can show you some
Yeah.
people in my neck of the woods that get very angry. But I wanted to bring up real quick the point, because we got a bunch of professionals in here who are just growing their ideas to grow into their business and everything else.
Yep.
And sometimes, I mean, we've been to the failures. We've seen the downs. And yes, there are not nice people in there. But I told you a long time ago, if you're looking to, you're going to be looking a long time, because a lot of people like you just enough. I mean, that's not a niche against anybody. It's just business.
Well, they don't have to, but business is business. People that we work with just grow, or they don't, but at least we're all in this together.
Well, that's
my-
nicely said.
that's my
That's
take
so
on it.
politically correct. In my world, wait a second. Do you go in and say, excuse me, I need this gas. I ain't got no money. Can we barter? Can we talk about how do I get a tank of gas out of you without giving you the green stuff? You think it's going to happen? If you know of anybody out there that's going to do that, I'll put them on the air for free. But it's not going to happen.
I would say, as a business person, yes, it's going to happen.
Really?
Yes, because just, again, never give up. Find a way. Go and ask. If he might be like, well,
He'll be
you
shocked.
know, yeah, you'll figure it out that if you go and ask, maybe that person will say no, but maybe somebody else is standing there and you say, listen, I need this. Is there any way, can I wash your car for you? Or do you have dogs? Can I babysit? Can I do something for you? The thing is, when you expect something for free, that's when there's a problem. But if you go and you say, open your heart and say, look, I really, really need this, and I'm willing to do anything for you. Well, not anything, but pretty much anything.
Lesson learned.
There you have it.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Not do anything,
everything, but with limits. And it somehow it always works out. You're gonna
there you
find
go.
that person. So just never give up. That's really my advice.
That's a good philosophy.
How do people find you?
CarmenCareLaser.com or 561-405-9577.
No need to suffer in pain anymore, truly.
Come on down and have a consultation. It'll be the best 15 minutes of your life.
And Moby Pop is launching soon?
Probably
Where's
sometime
my
in
pop?
July.
July.
Yeah.
I need it now.
All right, well,
we
I'll-
going.
I'll
Give
get
me-
you up and running.
Do we have to
John,
mock?
it's M-O-B-B-I. Thank you. M-O-B-I.
M-O-B-I.
Don't listen to Freddie's vernacular, sorry.
Is there like a test version?
Well, I can make you one. I'll make you one.
Maybe an alpha, beta, whatever.